Charlie Vann here with Krystle Starr. Krystle, how are you today? And I love your background.
Oh, well, thank you. I have been collecting things and knickknacks for years.
How long would you say you've been collecting things? Because you share a lot on your Instagram, and there's so much cool stuff. I mean, like your backdrop is like a fantasy world right there.
And I actually just got rid of like 6 boxes of stuff. I have been collecting since I was about 10 or younger. So I think that it started with like Beanie Babies magic cards and like baseball cards. So and then
Beanie
it just,
Babies.
dude, I'm telling you. Telling you, pops are the new Beanie Babies, and I'm actually starting to sell off a lot of my pops because I'm like,
you are?
okay, I am. Yeah, they need to say goodbye. They just take up so much space, and like you don't do anything with them.
So how do you like make that decision? Because sometimes you collect stuff and it's hard to part ways with
I definitely
certain things.
Yeah. So like my sweet yoga pants, pardon. I'll keep this pop for sure.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that is cool. How long so when did you get that? Like, was that immediate after the show? And we'll get into the show here in a little bit.
So no, I got that sent to me from a fan. His name is Jetty, or online Jetty Bear. So Jetty Bear made that for me, and I was just like blown away. I was like, what? Thank you. Thank you. So there are a few pops I'll keep. And I've got some signed pops, but like I've got like Stan Lee signed, Kevin Smith signed, the creator of Funko Pop signed some, Conan O'Brien signed a few. So I'll keep those, but I think everything else, I might keep Corey Feldman because I went on a date with him once, and it's just a funny piece.
You got to talk about that story if you're able to.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping me. He's crazy.
Sorry, Corey.
I'm not. Yeah, I actually went on a date with him as a dare. So he asked me to go to see the Cowboys game in like Jerry Jones's box with a lot of other celebrities. And my friends were there, and my boyfriend at the time actually told me to do it.
So you had the hall pass. You had the ultimate.
I had a hall pass for Corey Feldman, and then yes, and I actually wound up running away from him because he tried to do. He's crazy. So there were just like weird things that happened that night, like very, 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 very weird things. And he kept asking me to be one of his angels. Like he wanted to have like angels, like what's that guy's name? Charlie Sheen. Yeah, he's like really like trying to be Charlie Sheen, and he wanted me to be like this, like one of his angels, and he wanted me to move in with him in LA, and like he wanted me to like be a backup singer or dancer. I'm not even sure. And then I'm so glad I'm glad I didn't, and none of that happened. I actually wound up seeing him on like some talk show later where he did a live performance, and it was like the most cringe-worthy thing ever to watch. And all my friends are like, that could have been you. You could have been one of those girls. I was like, thank God I wasn't. That's so weird. But Kevin Sorbo actually wound up saving me that night. So
Hercules. Yeah, Hercules and Andromeda, but Hercules as for
Hercules
from the 90s.
So yeah, it was just a very bizarre, weird thing. So I think that the Goonies pop of Corey Feldman will probably stay with me for a while.
So what's not making the cut? What do you want to get rid of pop vinyl wise? And I ask that because I do collect pop vinyls, by the way.
Oh, well, then I will send you a huge list. I think I'm selling about 30 or 40, maybe 40 of them.
Oh, wow.
So all Star Wars for the most part. I have like a few others, but mostly Star Wars.
Do you have a Yoda?
Oh, Jesus.
I have the newer Luke, from from The Last Jedi, and
I've got the blue box Luke, so the older one.
That would be cool. I mean, I'm old school Luke. I like old school. Who doesn't? But Yoda, I love Yoda, or R2D2.
I have R2D2.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah,
I've got Jabba with like Slave Leia, so that one's a cool one.
that's
Like
like
it's
kind of
like
a classic. Return of the Jedi.
yeah, it's a big one. It's like a big pop.
What do you think about I saw for a little bit there's like a video, like Comic Cons or conventions going kind of virtual. I know times are
Yeah, I've
different
done
right now.
some.
What do you think about those? Like, do they feel weird? Because usually you're so engaging, being there in person.
I mean, it's definitely not, you're not having the same experience.
Yeah,
So there's that. Like, you don't have that interaction between people like you do at like a normal convention. You don't have the same, like, it's a virtual convention. Like, it's
yeah,
totally different. However, they're very similar to going in and sitting at a panel and watching a panel live. So as far as that aspect, like, they are just like a convention. Like, and sometimes you sit in the back row at a convention and watch the panel on the screen, even though you're there. There's just so many people in a room that you wind up watching it on screen. So in a way, it's very similar to a panel. However, you do miss all the fun, crazy stuff. And it's been great for me financially because, I mean, good and bad. Good in the sense that I'm not buying more junk at conventions and taking it back and hoarding. But bad because I've lost thousands of dollars this year not being able to do the convention circuit. Because I don't do just Comic Cons. I do video game conventions,
yeah.
comic conventions. We kind of do them all. So that's been really, really tough for me. I actually wound up losing so I work for a video game company, and wound up losing that due to Lego Masters. And yeah, and then because I had to take a lot of time off. And so I lost my job doing that. And then when 2020 hit with COVID, I wound up losing my other jobs as well, because I work on film and I do special effects for film, and production shut down pretty much everywhere. And they're just starting to pick it up a little bit in LA.
I was going to ask that, like, what's the word in the industry right now? I know some things are possibly coming back later in the year. I know Scream 5 is supposed to possibly set production later this year, and some reality shows are doing quarantine kind of. I know, like The Bachelorette's doing like a quarantine kind of like.
Oh, hilarious. That's hilarious. I didn't hear about that. Well, I know I can't say what shows are starting production because I'm under NDA for that. But I do know that there are some shows in Hollywood and Burbank that are starting to film. And it's really weird. I've got some friends working on those sets, and it's like, temperature checks, and it's like skeleton crew. And it's very odd and weird. And some of them have like started back up, and then someone gets sick, and then that whole completely shut down again. So it's weird. It's super, super, super weird. And for us, I worked at, what we did was we had a scanning rig, and we would come in and scan people for like a variety of different reasons. And since no one's really filming too much on set, we just don't have a set to go to film at. So yeah, it's just been a super fun
2020. I mean,
2020.
This is the year, and I've seen these memes. If Mac and Marty are Doc Brown and Marty, it's like skip 2020. I mean, 2020 is just crazy. But I mean, I'm glad that you're doing well now. I mean, I know there's adjustments, but you still seem to have fun, and you're still doing, like you said, on Twitch. You mentioned Lego Masters. I know you're wearing a shirt right now, Master Builder. Talk about that experience. When was production for that show?
So that was crazy. We didn't even know that we got on the show until like 3 weeks before filming started.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I was in Atlanta working on an HBO show, and I got the call that was like, "Hey, you guys got it." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Wait, when does it start?" Because I'm literally flying out to Jamaica like the day after I get home from Atlanta, and they were like, "In 3 weeks." And I went to Jamaica for like almost 2 weeks after my Atlanta trip, and so so I was in Atlanta, and then I went to Jamaica, and I think I had a day, actually, not a week. I think I had a day turnaround from Jamaica to start filming, and it started in October. And I think I want to say it was like October, like a day or two before Halloween. And I remember that it was before Halloween because I actually wound up taking a lot of the cast members to Rod Roddenberry's Halloween party.
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jessica from Lego Masters actually wore a Darth Vader costume.
Oh,
And
nice.
I was like, just so you know, the dude's house we're going to, his dad created Star Trek, so you might be stepping on some toes. But Rod loves Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it was fun. But and that was a crazy party too. It was just like filled with celebrities and all the food. And no one in Hollywood eats food, so we ate everything. So,
just FYI, people in Hollywood don't. I don't know how they survive. They don't eat.
They don't eat. They drink lattes and and protein shakes, and that's pretty much all that's going in there.
So was it tough not being able to talk about the show when it was? And we'll get back into the middle of the show, but afterwards, seeing because when did it air? End of January, early February on Fox?
Yep. Mid-January, I think it started airing.
Somewhere around there.
So yeah, my dad was the worst. My dad straight up like told people about the show. Our neighbors, like he was so excited that he told our neighbors, and then he told our neighbors what episode I got sent home on, and I was like, I'm like,
he's like reality Steve over here. A spoiler.
I was like, what are you doing? And so we had to have a big talk with my dad.
Batman transition. I mean, how was it working with Will Arnett? I mean, that guy seemed
I was actually going to say that we just got nominated for 2 Emmys.
Oh, yes. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And not only did the show get nominated, but so there are, in one of the categories, it was for best episode of a reality TV show for 2019. And the episode that was the best episode for Lego Masters was actually number 5 when Amy and I get sent home. And so apparently the audience had the biggest reaction to Amy and I getting sent home more than any other reality TV moment from 2019. So I was just like, oh!
It was a great, I mean, it was a very emotional. And of course, you saw your castmates as how emotional that was. But that's got to be awesome, though. Out of all the episodes, every episode was fun, but also cringing too, because seeing the models fall apart, you're like Brian was saying, it's hard to watch the show because he loves to build and like just how stressful you going through that. How long have you known Amy for?
So weird. So Amy and I actually just met not too long ago through the cosplay Lego community. It was weird. We met from Lego people who also cosplayed, which there isn't a huge, it's grown, but like 3 or 4 years ago, that was a pretty small group. And our buddy Alan builds armor Lego pieces. And so he knew Amy, and then he found me because I used to, I'm a huge Lego fan as well. And I don't know how Alan found me. But we had been talking on Instagram for a while, and one day he was like, dude, do you know Amy? And I was like, I don't. And he said, oh my God, she's in Dallas too. She's into Lego. She's into gaming. She she's like, y'all need to be friends. And so I'm always weary when people want me to be friends with a girl that I don't know or anyone that I don't know. And so I was like, so I went to her Instagram, scrolled through, and I was like, dang, this girl's beautiful. And then I was like, dang, this girl's smart and talented. And so I followed her, and we wound up working on a same little project months later. And I was like, oh, you're Amy. Alan told me about you. And she's like, oh, you're Krystle. Alan told me about you too. So thank you, Alan, for introducing Amy and I. And then after I met her in person, I was like, I'm having a Christmas party next week. You should come. And we didn't know each other at all, okay? And she wound up coming to the Christmas party, and I opened the door. I'm wearing a ugly sweater party. I'm wearing an ugly sweater with Santa Claus riding a unicorn through space with twinkling lights and galaxy pants.
That's an awesome ugly sweater.
Oh, it's an awesome ugly sweater. And it's so awesome that Amy's wearing the same sweater.
Oh, there you go.
But they're from different places. Yeah. So they're slightly different, but it's still Santa Claus riding a unicorn through space. And the fact that they weren't the identical, like they were like slightly off, I was like, oh my God. What? And she was wearing freaking galaxy pants.
Oh, nice.
So we're literally wearing the same outfit. And I was like, what? And I was like, come here. I have to show you something. So the rest of the party just like faded into the background. Amy and I went into my Lego room. I have like a giant tub filled with bricks. We dumped the bricks out and we started making snow angels out of my Lego.
Awesome.
And I think Amy and I must have stayed in my toy room for like 3 hours. And I guess everybody else at the party entertained themselves.
Wow.
We had all the girls come in and all the girls were building Lego and we felt like kids. I have a VHS player in here, and I think we put on like Return of the Jedi, and it was just like a solid night. And ever since then, like we've just kind of been like slowly, sending out messages here and there. And then the week that I guess she asked me to be on Lego Masters with her, I had 2 other people ask me to be their partner on Lego Masters. And I told them both the same thing. No, I'm not a very good builder and I'd ruin your chances at winning. So if you really want to win, I wouldn't take me. And I'm like, I'm a collector, not so much a builder. Yeah. And then Amy told me that I was going to be her partner, didn't give me a chance to like say no.
Yeah, she's like, hey, by the way, I don't know what you're doing. But
yeah. And and at first we thought it was a scam because we didn't apply for Lego Masters. They just reached out to us. And so we met with them and we told them straight up, like, we're not part of the Lego brand. Cause I built a video game for Lego. It didn't get released into the world, sadly. That project had to get cut, but I'm kind of glad because if I had got that project, then I couldn't have done Lego Masters because I would have technically had worked for Lego before and that was not allowed. But I knew the Lego brand. And so we both told them we're too sexy. We're not great builders. And there's too much controversy with both of us, for this. And they were like, no, we love it. So
what's life kind of been like after Lego Masters? Are more people noticing you out and about?
So the 2 weeks that I had out and about before quarantine, yeah, it was crazy. And I think that's another reason I got a little depressed because I never got to experience people recognizing me because 2020 hit and quarantine hit. And then I was really bummed because I was like, by the time we open up in 2021, no one's going to remember me from Lego Masters. So I was like, I guess I was just a little sad about that because I so wanted to, when the few times that we did get to go out and we did get recognized, like I was grocery shopping, and like these Girl Scouts were selling cookies out front, and they had just watched the show the night before, and then here I come to go shopping, and I was with Jessica from the show as well. Jessica flew down here from New Jersey, and the girls went wild, like cuckoo bananas, like hugging us, like freaking out, taking pictures with us. Like it was just a thing. And anytime I went to the Lego store, like kids would freak out. We had like signings at the Lego store. And then we went to Portland for a Lego convention, and it was insane. I felt like the biggest celebrity ever. First off, we didn't go there to sign. We went there half the cast went just because we wanted a family reunion.
Yeah.
And we wanted to be around Lego. So we were like, oh, we'll just go there and it'll be great. And then the people that ran Bricks, not Bricks LA, Bricks crap, the Oregon Brick Convention. I feel really bad right now. Bricks, no, damn it, the Brick Convention in Oregon, Portland. They were like, hey, do you guys mind doing a panel? We'll give you guys free tickets in. Like, so we paid for our way, our hotel, our flights, and our food, and we were like, sure, we'll do that. And then like the day before, they're like, hey, can we put up a little table for you guys to like, if anybody wants to meet and greet? We're like, oh yeah, we could do that. We're only going to do that for like an hour a day, We go down there before the show starts. There is a line wrapping around the building. Hundreds of little kids literally dressed up in fairy
Wow.
wings, unicorn outfits, like the little guys wearing beards, like the bearded builder, like Boone and Mark, and then little girls with bows, like Jessica, and
Oh,
some
wow.
girls were like wearing little dinosaur outfits for Amy, and like wings for me, and like this one little girl dyed her hair blue to match, like literally the same way that I have my hair.
Wow.
Yeah, there were two girls that their parents dyed their hair. I posted them on Instagram. It was wild, and we were like, oh my god. So we actually wound up meet greeting and like signing stuff from opening till close every day of the convention, and there was always an hour to 2 hour line wait to meet the cast. Like it was
Wow.
insane. It was wildly insane.
Do you get fan mail? Do you after that show?
Yeah. Yeah. So I've had a, you know, a mailbox for like for about 5 years. And I would get stuff from like people who follow me for a while. But after Lego Masters, I actually cried on Twitch the other day because it was my birthday last week, and I think I got like 35 or 40 packages.
Wow.
I was just like, oh my God.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is crazy. People have been sending me Lego sets. Like I actually just got the NES Lego set. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, so someone sent me this one for they sent me the money to get this for my birthday. We got Super Mario in there,
Oh, nice.
right? So, and then we've got Kim Chris, who is like one of my favorite friends, who's also on my Twitch stream. She got me the Barracuda Bay set, which is just gorgeous. So, you know, the Twitch streaming has honestly really like lifted me up this year. And people send, you know, our Twitch family will send us Lego, and we'll build it on stream. And then the Twitch family is great. If you guys ever see Lego on sale for like $1 or $2, one of Yin Yang, one of our Twitch family regulars, sent me like 30 of these because I build with my students still. But during 2020, I'm not meeting with my students so much. So I'm sending these to kids and little fans who send me like fan mail. I'll send them something back. So
It's cool to see how popular Lego still is and how engaging, especially for kids. You know, we were talking about this kind of a little bit before we recorded about STEM and education and science, and I mean that is awesome that it's still a very strong thing in our society, and the positive escape that it gives too.
Yeah, I mean, well, Lego sales have gone up about 30% since Lego Masters started. I think even 40% in some areas. And what's crazy is I was watching this video on YouTube the other day, and they were asking a group of kids what they wanted to be when they grew up. And when I was a kid, like astronaut, firefighter, you know, those were very common. Policeman, those are like, you know, maybe game designer if you had a really cool kid in the room. And like a handful of these kids were saying, I want to be a Lego designer. And I was like, what?
That's awesome.
And then some said I want to be a Lego master. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like what you want to be when you grow up. Like this is crazy to me. So that was mind-blowing, like totally mind-blowing. And Lego's come out with some crazy stuff like this NES set. This is not for kids. This is an 18 and up set. Like it says 18 and up on the box. So my family was giving me crap about playing with kids' toys. And I grabbed that box and I pointed to that 18 and up. I was like,
this plus, like, hey,
this is an adult set. It's an adult set. So,
I mean, but that's awesome though. I mean, it's cool what Lego's doing, how much is it experimenting and expanding. And it's one of those things that I feel like is going to continue. And going back to the show, if they chose to do, let's say, a redemption series or an all-star, would you do it again?
Oh, for sure. I know they'll have a all new cast for season 2, which they're already casting for now. But if they wanted to do like a reunion or whatever, yeah, definitely. 100%.
And what would you do different? What approach would be different this time around?
I don't know if I would have done it too differently. I know that the show probably wanted me to have a little bit more drama, and I think Amy and I didn't have enough drama because we're like really nice, laid back people.
Once again, you guys are so much fun.
Yeah.
Not that anybody else wasn't, but you guys have brought that high energy the whole entire time.
Well, thank you. But yeah, I think they were just a little bummed at how well the entire cast worked together. Not Lego, but like so Fox puts it on, and Fox
Yeah.
has reality TV shows, and reality TV shows you want a little bit more drama in that
Yeah.
fighting. And to be quite honest, there was only one team with drama. The rest of the cast was, and that team, it wasn't even like crazy drama, like it they made it seem like that. But I mean, anyways, but I think that they underestimated how well we would all love each other and respect each other and be kind to one another. The Lego community is just a glorious, wonderful place, a safe place. It's a very
Yeah.
safe place, and a very accepting place. And I think that from years of doing Comic-Con, when I first started doing Comic-Con, it was like that. Over the last decade of doing Comic-Cons, they've kind of become different. It's become a different beast. And but I think Lego has that innocence and that childlike love for creation and exploration and education, and that we're all drawn to that, and that's why I think the cast got along so well, because we could all see that in each other and respect one another, and we deeply love each other. Like the cast is, we have a group text that we talk all the time, and I really consider a lot of them as part of my family. So it was a great experience, and the best part about the whole show was meeting the cast.
Congrats again on the show, on your Twitch channel, on the filmmaking as well. Where can people find you?
It's Krystle Starr X.
Well, Krystle, thank you again. It's been fun.
Thank you. It was really good hanging out with you, man.